Hi everyone, it's Eddie here from Dilleen Property Group. I have been receiving a lot of questions recently. A lot of the ones mainly is how many properties how much money do you need to purchase your first property or purchase an investment property like the ones that I've been purchasing in Queensland or in South Australia or up on the Central Coast and that kind of things. And I thought, rather than basically, getting back to everyone individually, I just do a quick video and, explain a few things about how much money you actually need to buy your first property or buy an investment property of that sort. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 25 years old. I own 10 investment properties and, they're scattered throughout all of Australia. Basically, the first one I bought was at the Central Coast of New South Wales back in 2011, in the beginning of 2011. I purchased another 6 or 7 throughout Queensland as well, throughout the Brisbane and Gold Coast markets, and also about 3 or 4 throughout South Australia as well, about half an hour out of Adelaide. So I've got 10 properties. I'm settling in 11th month within the next few months, and I'm 25 years old at the moment. So a lot of people ask me questions about how much you need, how do I do it, and all that kind of stuff. And this is, I guess, basically just getting back to them and explaining how much money you need. So for basically getting started, like for me, I saved up. I've had about $20,000 saved up for my first property. A lot of people say you need a lot more than that. So a lot of people say that you need $50,000, $60,000 or $70,000 to save up and get a property nowadays, because obviously the market's gone up quite a bit, especially in Sydney and Melbourne. But for me and a lot of people that I work with, you can still purchase properties throughout the Queensland markets, Adelaide, and also Tasmania and that kind of thing, those kind of markets, with as little as $20,000 to $25,000. Obviously, the more the better. But you can still do 10% deposits. I know APRA has cracked down a lot recently with restricting lending for banks and lenders and that kind of stuff over the last like 2 years. But you can't let it stop you. You got to find a way. So roughly about 20 to $25,000 will get you your first property. Say for example, if you want to purchase property in Queensland, South Australia, or one of the two states, you're going to be very hard trying to find something in Sydney or Melbourne with only about 20-25 grand. And obviously, as I said, the more you have, the better. But if you're just starting out, maybe you're a young person and you want to get started in property and you don't want to wait till you save up $50,000 or $60,000, you can still do this. So for example, throughout the Queensland market, throughout Queensland and South Australia, I still pick up properties today for under $200,000. This is like properties that we're talking like townhouses, units, and even some houses you can pick up as well. So for between the $150,000 to $250,000 mark. Say for example, you just want to get your foot in the door, you go for a townhouse or something like that throughout Queensland or South Australia within 45 minutes, because obviously within 45 minutes of a metro area, you're always going to have a high demand for tenants, so you're not going to have to worry about it being vacant. I'm not about purchasing out in the middle of nowhere or regional towns or anything like that, or hotspots. Play it safe. I speak to metro areas, and say for example, you can find a townhouse in Queensland, for $170,000, $180,000. Say for example, you can pick it up really cheap. You're able to find a really good deal. Say a two bedroom townhouse, 2-bedroom unit, and you pick it up for say $170,000 or $165,000. Say you need 10% of that would be, say it's $165,000. You need $16,500 as initial deposit. Then you probably need about $4.5K for stamp duty. For stamp, probably about $1,500 for legal fees. And then of course pest and building inspection and that kind of stuff. So you've always got to have a pest and building inspection. For the ones I purchased throughout Queensland and Adelaide, some of the ones I didn't actually go there and see before I purchased them. It's just, I did my research. I knew the obviously areas. I've been throughout the areas, but there's only so much you can do when you actually go and see a house. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to know if there's termites behind a wall, or if there's something going on the roof. I'm not going to, I'm not a pest and building inspector. I'm a property investor, so I'll leave that to the professionals, and I pay them for that, and they make sure it's fine. But obviously before I purchase it. So say for example, say $500 roughly. Usually you can get them for a pest and building inspection for as little as $350, but say $500. Pest and building. So you got 2,000, 6,500, and you got 16,500. So obviously 6.5. So you're looking at 22, 23, say around 24,000 roughly. Round up to about 24K. So there's just a quick example about how you can purchase one property, whether that's throughout either Queensland or South Australia. Get your foot in the door. Say you want to just let it sit there for 5, 10, 20 years. Let it pay itself down. Something like something for about $165,000. Like I purchased within the last for about 10 months. Townhouses and units for under $165,000. They're worth more. They've already gone up. There's a lot of ones that are purchased for $165,000. They've gone up to $200,000, or I bought them below market value and then revalued them at $180,000 or $200,000, whatever it is. So there's lots of ways you can do it, but that's just a quick and simple strategy about how you can do it and what kind of property you'd be looking at anyway. So appreciate you watching the video. If you have any other questions, send them through. You can send them through to admin@dilleenpg.com, and that will obviously come through to me, and I'll be able to answer any questions you have and help you out along the way. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.